Games are bad for you. Have you ever heard that before? Maybe from a parent or a relative or a teacher? I'm sure you have. It's a very common claim, although you might have heard a variation of it. Maybe perhaps that games are a waste of time, or that games cause violence. Whatever it is, the main point is that games are bad for you. And I mean, it makes sense, right? Games aren't exactly made for you to grow or to learn or to change. No. They're made for us to do one thing, and that's to have fun. So why would they be good for us? Hi, I'm Darwin, and today I'm going to be talking about the gift that games give. Let me tell you a story. Back when I was in year 7, I was really introverted. I barely left the house. My friend circle was tiny. I could barely hold a conversation with anybody. Now, I actually leave the house semi-regularly. My friend circle is much larger, and I can actually hold a conversation with people. But back then, it felt as if nobody understood me. It felt as if I was an alien. It felt as if I was alone. But that changed when one day, someone came up to me. There were somebody in my year, my peer, you could say, except we didn't really know each other. We barely talked, if at all. But they still came up to me and struck up a conversation. And we did just that. We talked. Now, it wasn't really a special talk exactly, just the kind you'd have between friends, except we weren't friends yet at that point. But afterwards, we were. Why? Because one thing was mentioned: a game. Games were what let me connect to other people. My closest friends today, I am so close to because of a game. If it weren't for games, I might not be as close to some, and might not even talk to some others. That's kind of a thing with games. Whether it be a complete stranger who you've never met before in your entire life, or a best friend who you've already known for years, games can bring you closer to anybody and everybody, within reason, of course. And not just that, games gave me the confidence to change. Games inspired me to try new things and to experiment with myself. So, if it weren't for games, I might still be the introverted and unconfident year 7 who never talks to anybody and is always alone. And that's the first thing games give you. The second thing games give you? Let me go on a quick tangent. Please bear with me. The way we learn is through practice and rehearsal. We must do things repeatedly to be able to store it in our long-term memory. And to do that most effectively, you should never be stressed. That's because when you're stressed, you're going to be spending your time worrying instead of learning. So whenever you study, you should never be worried about anything. And that's a really difficult thing to do. I'm sure you've all had this feeling where you have a test the next day and you're trying to study. So you read over and over and over again just to try and memorize anything. It's practically impossible. So anything that could help with that would be a huge lifesaver. And that thing does exist. It's a game. Think of review games. Review games like Gimkit, Bulletkit, or Kahoot are infamous for being a great tool to study with. But on the surface, they're no different from a normal quiz, right? So what makes them so good? Well, they mix in game-like aspects such as multiplayer, a cartoony style, and customizability with the good things from a normal quiz. So basically, you're learning while playing a game. And this has a few results. You're going to be much more engaged and active, which in itself already means you're going to be able to learn much more. But the most important thing is that you're going to have fun. And so instead of worrying, you'll actually be learning. And not just that, a study from Oxford shows that games have a definitive effect on a person's mental health and well-being, while another one, which was investigating violence found among young adults, found a whole load of nothing in any evidence that games had any correlation at all. So to summarize, games can help you academically, mentally, socially, and while still having no drawbacks. And that's the second thing games give you. The third thing games give you is the opportunity to relax. Now, my mother works in finance, and I'm sure any of you who's ever had to do math could imagine how hard that would be. And it is. It's a very mentally taxing and tiring job. And every day, after long hours of arduous work, she comes home and relaxes by playing solitaire. Because she plays solitaire, she's able to take a cognitive break and rest and recharge her energy, so the next day, she's able to continue working on. If it weren't for solitaire, she'd be far too tired and completely unable to work at all. And the best thing is, there's a game like that for everybody. Maybe you want to play something more cartoony and relaxing, like Animal Crossing. Maybe you want to play something more gritty and intense, like Doom. Maybe you want to play something else entirely. Whatever it is, there's a game for everyone, and that includes you. So, you want to grow? Play a game. You want to learn? Play a game. You want to relax? Play a game. And if you're free, play a game. Thank you.